WBOK, 12:30 a.m. I am Will Sutton, and sitting next to me is none other than Ro Brown.
Good
Would that
morning,
work,
everyone.
King?
I think it might. Yeah,
Okay,
I think it might. Yeah, I think it passes. Yes.
Okay. I don't know if they'd hire me permanently to do that, but maybe they let me call 2 or 3 players.
Well, there would be no reason for you to do my name at Smoothie Kings.
Yeah, right.
That's for sure. Yeah, that we know for sure.
Maybe during an intermission, a break, commercial break when they do other things.
Yeah, it'd have to be. That's
Yeah,
the only
right,
time it
so-
could be. Yeah.
Oh, boy. Well, good morning, folks, and welcome to another day with the Good Morning Show. It is Friday. We have made it through
Happy
Monday
Friday.
and Tuesday and Hump Day. Thursday, and here we are on Friday. I know the weekend is always a weekend for you, some of you who have weekdays that are weekend-like, and weekends that are definitely weekend-like, and then some of us who still humping,
Hump
working for the Ducats, you know. Then we look forward to Friday and the weekend, but the weekend starts at different times for different people.
Yes,
You know,
it
some
does.
people it doesn't start till Saturday morning.
And it'll last a little longer this weekend because it's King Day weekend.
That's right. Yep. So we had Martin Luther King's birthday, actual birthday,
It was
yesterday.
Mhm.
And, you know, another important person had a birthday on that day. My sister, Allison.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
I was
you
thinking,
know,
I was
she
thinking
didn't get,
somebody
she
else.
didn't get a identified national holiday for some reason,
Uh-huh.
but very important. Happy birthday, Allison.
I was thinking somebody else, but we don't have to say who that is. But it's somebody else had a birth date on that day also.
Nobody else?
Someone else did, yeah.
Who
but
did?
No,
Come
no.
Come on.
No.
Did you have a birthday?
No, not me. I'm December.
Who had a birthday? Man?
Oh, you don't want to hear it.
I do. We do.
Well, I don't know if it's the exact birthday, but it's celebrated that. Yeah.
Whose birthday?
Robert E. Lee.
Oh, that birthday.
It's around that date.
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah,
it's the
yeah,
15th,
yeah.
but it was
Yeah, yeah.
celebrated
That's true.
around that
Yeah,
that
yeah.
same weekend
Yeah.
all the time.
When
yeah.
I was in North Carolina, I definitely knew that. Oh, boy. Man, so many things are happening in our world today. Of course, we told you yesterday the president said he might enact the Insurrection Act after,
Mhm.
and this is after another shooting in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
He said he might have to do Insurrection Act
Yeah.
to get things under control. And it's like, man, what the heck? But, you know, one of the things I'm sure he is quite concerned about is his polling numbers. And whoever's advising him is saying this would be a good move, just like they told him Venezuela would be a good move. And those numbers are not going up. He's still below 40%.
Do you think he's concerned about his polling numbers?
I don't know, man.
I mean,
but
do you think he? Yeah, I mean, do you think? I don't think
he
he.
loves good news about him, and so I think
Well, he does. Yeah.
I think.
But he just ignores that.
likes, I think he likes that good news. I mean, when the market is up, he always says something as if he did everything to affect that. He does impact it.
But there's
But,
somebody
you
who
know,
says that he
but-
won Minnesota all 3 times.
Yeah.
And he didn't.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you think he cares about his polling numbers?
Okay, man.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you can, he thinks he won the election in 2020. Okay. He thinks.
Yeah, and he's still talking about it.
Yeah, he thinks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if he doesn't think that, he's still running around saying it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, do you think he cares about anything? He doesn't care anything that puts him in a bad light. I think he just ignores it.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
I mean, at least outwardly, he ignores it.
Right.
Okay?
Right. Right. Yeah.
And he just knows he can talk his they're going to believe me.
Right.
I think that's where he is.
Well, he sure is chugging along and making some people upset, and not just on one or two or three issues, because he's now upsetting some Republican governors.
Mhm.
Have you heard about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So Governor Landry made a big request
He ain't one of them.
to extend. Well, I don't know.
He ain't one of them.
I don't know.
I do.
He made a big request for FEMA funds to continue help and recovery in Louisiana, and his request was denied.
Okay. So what does that mean? He's
Well-
going to resign his envoy
No,
position? No.
no, nope. I
Nope.
don't think so.
So you think he's upset with him? No.
Well, I think he like knew it was coming, so he was prepared. Because just a reminder that the president has been clear, he doesn't think FEMA is needed.
Right.
So this is a part of how do we shut down FEMA,
Mhm.
Republican or Democrat? How do we shut down FEMA? Well, one of the ways is to cut off the funds
Yeah.
for all of the contractors that FEMA employees work with in places like Louisiana after Katrina, after Ida, in California, in LA with the wildfires, after the horrors of what happened in Hawaii, after the Western North Carolina hurricane damage, which helped him win North Carolina. All those people still need help. We know well what happens after disaster is you don't just come back into your home. But he's like, well, we don't need that. The states should pick that up.
Yeah. Well, so you think Jeff Landry's mad at him?
Well, I think Jeff Landry is disappointed for his people, and he will not say it was a bad move.
Yeah,
You know,
that's my point.
I mean,
that's my point.
I think he knows it was a bad move.
Yeah.
Yep. But, an assistant secretary at the Department of Homeland Security said FEMA does not have additional funding available to supplement the existing grant awards.
And Donald
Does
Trump.
not have the money.
Right. And Donald
When
Trump.
has FEMA not had the money?
You really?
Oh, there are disasters all over the place, and FEMA always finds a way to have the money to help American citizens and residents.
Yeah. Well, and he knows that Jeff Landry ain't going nowhere.
Well, yeah.
He knows that. Okay. He ain't going nowhere.
Well,
He ain't gonna say nothing.
The governor's office, Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness, when asked about this very thing, what do you think they said?
What did they say? I don't know.
Okay, what they said was, now the question was, how do you feel? What's going on with FEMA? Is it true that you've been denied the request?
Mm-hmm.
The answer? FEMA does not have additional funds. I'm sorry, that's wrong quote. One quote. I read that one.
Mm-hmm.
The answer to that question from the governor's team, FEMA, the success of last year's Super Bowl and Mardi Gras events is remarkable. Louisiana, along with our state, local, and federal partners, was able to quickly enhance safety measures following the New Year's Day terror attacks while safely welcoming hundreds of thousands of visitors to the New Orleans region.
Sounds like a Donald Trump answer.
That's the answer to the FEMA question.
Yeah, it sounds like a Donald Trump answer.
It's like,
yeah.
what the heck? All right, folks, look, we got to go to
That's
break.
what that sounds
and, there's some other stuff going on, including...
We're the hottest
looks
country
like-
in the world.
Yeah, looks like
We're the-
Mayor Moreno and her administration did not get handed the keys to the city's official social media account. So they're ramping it up and then going to the biggies. So more about that after the break. And I want to more formally introduce you to our new producer, Jared. So he's going to come in and get on the mic as well. And we got some cheating scandals going on, too.
No.
Yeah, man, just the stuff. All right, this is WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Good morning and happy Friday. I'm Morgan Lentis with WDSU News, and here's a look at today's headlines. This morning, the New Orleans Fire Department is trying to figure out what caused a large fire in the Bywater. It happened around the Piety Wharf near Crescent Park last night. The fire prompted a large response from the NOFD and was eventually brought under control. Again, right now, the cause of that fire is not known. Then, as the Moreno administration works to trim the city's budget in response to a more than $200 million budget deficit, we are learning more about how the city got here. A new report from the Office of Inspector General is raising concerns about NOPD overtime. The Inspector General says from January through July of 2025, officers reported more than 260,000 overtime hours, which cost the city more than $16 million. And representatives from the New Orleans Firefighters Union and the mayor's team are expected to meet sometime next week. This after the NOFD union passed a vote of no confidence for Superintendent Roman Nelson. The union claims a pattern of administrative abuse following the termination of firefighters on injured leave. Right now, it is unclear what day that meeting will happen. And that is a look at today's headlines. I'm Morgan Lentis with WDSU News. Have a great
This is the
day
Bloomberg Black
better
Business
weekend.
Beat, brought to you by Lowe's.com. The arrow is pointing up for women's sports and is starting to attract the attention of investors looking to break into the sports world. Melody Hobson is co-CEO and president of Black-owned Wall Street firm Ariel Investments and is part of a new venture there called Project Level. It's dedicated to investing in women's sports. On stage recently at a Bloomberg event, Hobson says she sees investing in women's sports similarly to how she sees investing in small-cap companies.
Smaller companies tend to grow faster. And we say the big guys, it's going to be harder to grow the way they've grown in the past. But the women have a big trajectory of growth in front of them. So this is where value meets growth.
The big guys she refers to are men's sports franchises. Hobson feels getting in on women's sports now could lead to big wins for investors down the road. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner. I'm the Black Business Beat.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. That's 800-917-8730.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
and welcome back to the morning show. I am Will Sutton. I'm here with Ro Brown.
Good morning.
And we are happy that you are tuning in, giving us some of your morning time on Friday, right here with the Good Morning Show, WBOK, 12:30 a.m. Look, before we went to the break, we told you that the Mayor Marino administration has gotten so frustrated because since taking over after the inauguration and becoming the 63rd mayor of the city, the team was working in advance for a hitting the ground running. So she's been running with her team, making announcements, issuing executive orders, and putting things in place. But of course, moving from one administration to another, you have certain things that, you need the key to the door.
Yes.
You need the combination lock numbers. You need the codes for the social media accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the city has official social media accounts. They belong to us, actually, but the mayor and her team run those official city media, social media accounts. Well, on Thursday night, so this is just last night, since some of you all woke up this morning. Last night, the mayor was so freaked out about what's going on that she let the public know that they have been, quote unquote, unable to inform constituents of updates in the Crescent City. Close quote. And the reason for that is that the mayor and her team don't have the usernames, passwords, and whatever else you need for any of a variety of social media accounts. So that would seem like a simple thing as a part of handing over from one mayor to another, or one congressman to another, or one governor to another, or president to another. But there are bad transitions sometimes, and sometimes they're good, but somebody forgets. Did somebody forget this one, Ro? Or
I don't see how you could forget it.
You don't think anybody forgot this?
No.
Oh,
no,
we're not giving you this.
Yeah, I mean, how else could it? What else could it be?
Well,
if one side says, "Yeah, we gave it to you," and the other side says, "We don't have it." Like you said, they're bad transitions.
Well,
and you had a feeling, I have a feeling this isn't the only thing.
Oh boy. Well, the mayor's administration announced that the mayor and her team are in contact with the social media companies to resolve this matter ASAP. Mm-hmm. And what that takes is, they're probably gonna have to prove that she is the mayor of the city.
Yeah.
To each social media company that these are the people who need this to operate, and this is a part of what we do with city functioning.
But Will, okay, so we gave it to you. I don't have it. Well, give it to me again. Can they say that? Can we do that?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Well, does that mean, because one side said we don't have it, does that mean they can't get it again?
Right. Well, I want you to touch on just for a couple of minutes, and then I want our producer to come into the studio. But give us a summary, because we don't have enough time to go into this deeply, but Louisiana athletes implicated in basketball scheme allegedly interfered with these 8 games, says Joseph Craney as the Times Picayune. What the heck, Ro?
Yeah. Well, this is an investigation that's been going for a long time. Mm-hmm. And some of its the fruits of that investigation broke last year with 3 University of New Orleans players.
Oh, yeah, I remember that now.
So it's kind of a continuing sort of thing, and it's like, what, 39 players covering 17 schools, 17 teams across the country of point shaving and, essentially fixing games, making sure the point spread is whatever so the gamblers can win and so on and so forth. Yeah. And, primary name here locally is Kevin Cross, who played at Tulane for 4 years.
Right.
And, you knew this was coming.
Yeah.
With, it was already there. Okay.
Right.
This isn't something that's new, and especially in college basketball. Historically, just about every decade, there's a point shaving scandal in college basketball. And it's been that way since the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Yeah. Of course, the 80s hit with the Tulane point shaving scandal in 1985 that people know about.
Yeah.
But, it's not anything new. It's always been there. And college basketball has always kind of been that space.
I don't know if $18,000 or $32,000 is worth risking a career where even you have a successful college career, and that might be it.
Well,
but maybe that college career helps you get into places that you wouldn't otherwise get into because of alums, basketball fans, and all. And then some of these guys could have a shot at the G League, if not the NBA,
or in Europe, and that sort of thing. Yeah. Back in the old days before NIL and all that good stuff, $20,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah, right.
And I want to mention one other thing because I'm sure people are wondering about it. Of the 17 schools, there's Alabama State and North Carolina A&T. So if you're wondering, well, it didn't happen at any HBCUs. No,
it did.
It did.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully those will be the only two on the list, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, look, joining us in the studio today is a special guest. A guest who has not been on the Good Morning Show. Some of you all who listen to WBOK all day long may have heard him in other places during the day, but not here at the Good Morning Show. So I want to formally introduce the Good Morning Show audience to our new producer who sits behind the glass, Jared. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you guys today?
Fabulous. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
How's it going so far?
Pretty well, yeah. I've been enjoying being back and getting back into the swing of things, so
back.
It's really nice.
All
yes,
right.
I've been
back.
I'm back.
Explain back, Jared.
Wait. Come on. Who your mama in there?
My mama in there.
Where you come from? What's your high school?
What's the name of my school? I went to St. Augustine High School.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I went to St. Augustine High School. And my mom's, Simone Richard. You know Alvin Richard? That's me. That's my family member. Yeah.
Wait, what? What about Alvin Richard?
Oh, I'm his grandson. That's my family.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Me too.
Okay. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about where you've been, what you've been doing. You say come back.
Yes.
When were you here before? And
yes. Okay.
when did you come back?
Okay, I can say last June I was here. I started getting in contact with DJ Wick, right?
Okay.
And then Jeff Thomas helped me as well to get started. And then I was let go of nothing that I did, but it's just how the times have gone.
Yep.
Where I was able to be
That's
like,
why this black radio station needs advertising support.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I was allowed to come back. And, I think that I was able to because they saw the work ethic I put in when I started out, that I was able to be remembered and then welcome back. And I just fit back in. Yeah.
So what other kinds of things have you done since graduating from St. Aug in 2017?
Yes, 2017. Then I moved on to Xavier, and I did communications.
Ah.
Yes.
So you know this building?
Yes, I do know this building.
You've been here before.
Yes, and that's the crazy part. I've been in this building before. I have not been in WBOK before. Yes, and you guys, the station had moved here and I can say that I did not know of WBOK, but my grandfather always talked about it. So
Yeah.
yes, that's how it happened. And I went to Xavier, then I moved on to Loyola. Yes.
Hey,
Loyola
I
University
knew it was
in
coming.
New Orleans.
Now you got your turn.
Your turn. Where I also I got my master's in Master's of Marketing and Communications. Yes.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. And it was a really nice program. Yeah, I liked it.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, what's something that our WBOK family of listeners on the Good Morning Show might not know about you that you don't mind sharing on the air with thousands of people?
At this time, I don't know what I could say.
Oh, come on. You've had a very full life, though you're a young one.
No, I'm sorry. No.
And the most exciting moment in your life thus far.
Most exciting moment? You know, I don't know.
Okay. What were you excited?
I think I've experienced a lot of exciting moments. Yes.
And I always ask young people this: what would you like to do in this business?
Okay, sure. What I would like to do in this business is to get better at what I'm doing right now, and hopefully go on to something. I guess you could say bigger in my realm, because I graduated from Xavier. I'm back here for this. I'd say it would be a different building, but it's the same aspect. I have lots of things to learn, and I would like to evolve it at some point, if I may.
Doing what?
Doing what? I like radio.
I mean, what would you like to do? I mean,
I like radio.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you have an idea when you want to be on air like Will Sutton, or what? You want to. Do you want to be a producer?
Oh,
Do you,
okay,
what do you want to do?
Do you like production?
Yes. Okay.
Do you like live events?
What?
I do like live events. I also like reporting. I also did do a few reports for Data News Weekly while I was at Xavier and other spots here and there. I enjoyed writing, and I would have liked to become a reporter, and I still want to.
Oh,
Yes.
well. Imagine that. At one point,
That's the answer.
before you, WBOK did have reporters.
Yes.
We even had a news director.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Never knew.
in public affairs.
Yes.
I mean, WBOK had.
So you had more.
See, you're too young to know these things. But your grandfather would know this. Ask him about it sometime.
Okay.
Yeah, because then he's probably start naming names, and you might recognize a name or two, but then there'd be others like, well, I don't know who that is, but that's okay. But it's a wonderful opportunity to grow yourself individually and professionally, to have a grandfather like Alvin Richards, and know that he is a businessman that's not in the media that I know of, but he's well connected, well known. A lot of people have great respect for him, and he's been a fan and supporter of WBOK.
Yes.
So that would be good. And then as you're around here, hopefully you'll learn some more as we do what we do. So, folks, reach out to Jared if you got a thought, an idea. Y'all on Facebook, you can see him. YouTube.
Yes.
The talk line is 504-582-9422. During the Good Morning Show, the person who will answer that phone most days and times is sitting right here.
Yes.
All right. Well, before we take a break, we're going to give you a little update, and then we're going to hear from representatives from BGR on a new report that they have released. We also have upcoming New Orleans and Company telling us about tourism and hospitality and some of the things that are going on. And we will also hear from Liberty Bank, keeping our financial health going in the right direction. Our physical health is important, but so is our financial health as well. So when we come back from the break, we'll hear from BGR, and stay tuned for New Orleans Company and Liberty Bank right here on WBOK. You're listening to WBOK 1230 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
The temperature swing continues, plus I do have a wintry weather update for you. So starting off with the cold side, but then eventually highs 68 to 70 degrees today. Lows tonight 43 to 50. We could see a few passing showers overnight into our Saturday, a few showers throughout the day on Saturday. And then we are talking about that potential for a wintry mix. As of right now, it looks like it'll just be some cold showers passing through very early Sunday morning. We are not expecting that big snow event. For the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Richard.
Hey, this is D. Riley from the 90s Hits R&B Jams. Make sure you listen to WBOK 1230 AM every Saturday night from 7 until 9 p.m. I'll be giving you the best R&B jams from the 90s. That's right, all your favorites and more. With me, D. Riley, your host of the 90s Hits, right here on WBOK 1230 AM, or listen online at WBOK1230.com. WBOK, the station you listen to longer.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show for those of you all who have been with us since sometime in the 7 o'clock hour. And welcome to the Good Morning Show for those of you all who are just tuning in. But what a good time to tune in, because we have Rebecca Mowbray, who's the president and CEO of BGR, the Bureau of Government Research. And we have Stephen Stewart, who is senior vice president and research director at BGR, and they're going to be talking about their report that has just come out, Paying for Drainage, which is taking a look. If you say drainage in New Orleans, Everybody has a drainage story, or two, or three, or four, or five. I'm Will Sutton. With me is Ro Brown. And good morning, and good morning, and good morning, folks. Welcome to the Good Morning Show.
Thanks, Will. It's great to be here.
Well, thank you much. Good morning, Steve.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Absolutely. It's always good when you all come here because before you come in, I know you're loaded with information. You got all this data, and the time we have isn't going to be enough time. So let's dive into it. What have you done with this report?
Okay.
Everybody cares about the Sewage and Water Board and drainage.
That's
so
right.
Give us the overview and what we need to know.
That's right. Drainage is a major issue for everyone who lives in New Orleans because we all have experiences with it. So drainage is underfunded in the city of New Orleans. And there's a lot more things that we need to fix and build and whatnot. And we wrote this report because about their drainage is funded in the city of New Orleans by 3 taxes. 2 of them expire in the next few years. One next year in 2027, the other in 2031. Those 2 taxes are responsible for 60% of the already inadequate funding for our drainage system.
60%.
60%.
And one
of the inadequate.
One expires in 27, one in 2031.
Yeah.
So we're
And
going to need to.
And remember, Rebecca said of the inadequate.
Right. We spend about $90 million right now on drainage, the Sewage and Water Board, each year. It really needs to be between like 125 and 150 million. So big increase. We're not where we need to be on that. So we're about to kick off a major conversation in this community about how do we pay for drainage. And there has been something kicking around for a while called a stormwater management fee as a possibility. And a tax is something that's paid by property owners. A fee is paid by everybody, meaning nonprofits who aren't responsible for paying taxes because they're a nonprofit. So your universities, your nonprofit hospitals, your religious institutions, other nonprofit groups
Churches
out there.
and synagogues would pay this
Churches, synagogues, and governmental bodies.
fee? Would they pay the same fee that a average property owner would pay?
So what they would do is the Sewage and Water Board would create something called an equivalent residential unit. And they would figure out what a standard parcel, with maybe house and driveway on it or something like that. What they'd come up with some way that they'd be like, this is a standard parcel, and here's the amount of impervious surface from like the footprint of your house and maybe your driveway, and then base things on, how much. If you've got more than that, like if you've got a pool in the backyard or a patio or something, you'd probably pay more because the rain can't get absorbed into the ground. If you're a really big property owner or you're like the Superdome, that's just huge amounts of concrete, then it would be multiples. Like there would be. You'd have to pay a lot more because there'd be a lot of concrete on that. But anyway, there's been this idea of a stormwater management fee for a while. And it is expected that the Sewage and Water Board will come up with a proposal for that in the not too distant future, because as these taxes are about to run out, now's the time to have the conversation about, can you broaden the base of payers who pay into the system to cover drainage? Because right now, if you think about it, your large nonprofit institutions, they benefit from the drainage system, that their employees can get to work and their customers can come and things like that, but they're not paying into it. So BGR did something a little bit unusual with this report in that there is no specific proposal on the table right now.
I noticed that.
And so we don't have a specific stance in favor or against it. But what we're advocating for with this report is a high quality proposal. The Sewerage and Water Board has got to get this right. And what we wanted to do was put out a report that identifies the needs and identifies all of the best practices that we were able to find and get it into everybody's hands so that we're kind of encouraging the Sewerage and Water Board to do a good job with a solid proposal. And then for everyone else in the community, whether you are citizens or a nonprofit or businesses or whatever, that you've got in your hands like kind of a primer that you can judge any proposal that may come out or weigh in and advocate for a high quality proposal that will meet the needs.
Well, let me just say, when you all put out reports, I like to, call them up and take a look. And it's such good work and all. And so I'll use the example of this one. I haven't gotten through all of it yet, but already I've stopped myself 2 or 3 times. Like, I got to go back and read that again. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's so rich. Now, if you really don't care about all of this, you just care whether you have a drainage problem or not, okay. But this is very informative and educational about the what, the when, the why, the possible how, what is going on. And so I know, Stephen, you're the primary author, I believe.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so give us some more information about you didn't come up with here's what should be done, but there's some very clear conclusions and recommendations.
That's right. We so BGR, for many years we've analyzed ballot propositions, of all sorts, that have come before the public, from taxes to bonds to other charter amendments and things, and we've talked with you all a number of times about those. We looked at this opportunity as something, because there's no proposal on the table. What would the Sewage and Water Board have to do to actually create a high-quality proposal? So one of our big recommendations is to start with a clear spending plan. That's something that our estimates that Becky talked about are preliminary. The Sewage and Water Board is still refining those, trying to figure out what the total need is for all the complexities of the system. Everything from the drainage pumps down to the pipes and canals to the catch basins, which they manage right now. They started doing that at the beginning of this year. There's also a number of projects called green infrastructure, which are essentially rainfall retention projects that are located on city property or Sewage and Water Board property or private property.
Playgrounds.
Playgrounds, exactly. And so they're designed to slow the flow of runoff into the public system, to kind of give the pumps a chance to catch up on what's in the street. So this whole complex system that keeps New Orleans dry, that keeps businesses and homes dry, it takes a lot of money to sustain that, with everything from cleaning catch basins to making sure the pumps are working. So we suggested as first and foremost that you look comprehensively at the needs, that you develop a clear spending plan for the public. And then you kind of prioritize in that plan. That's an essential part of it, where, the public has only so much money to put toward this. We have other needs in the city, as you all know. So prioritizing how you're going to spend the money is also a key part of that plan. And then we want to also stress that, we want to encourage, fairness in the structure. So if you combine, as the Sewage and Water Board is thinking about right now, combining a stormwater fee with an extension of these taxes in some form, that you do that fairly, so that the homeowners, the business owners, the nonprofits, the public institutions who pay into the new funding framework, that it's kind of, you have a good sense of fairness across the board. And then finally, just to be transparent and accountable. We want to have good, clear reporting to the public, clear approval processes by the city council, by the Sewage and Water Board, and then that back end accountability so that the public can know what are the results here. What are you achieving with all this? If we're giving you this additional money, what results are you producing? How much are we reducing neighborhood drainage problems, reducing flood risk?
I was going to add, so we did over the summer during the mayor and council races, we did these candidate Q&As, and we asked about paying for drainage and the idea of a stormwater fee. And what we picked up is that everybody is potentially stormwater fee curious, but also wary. We all know public confidence has been low in the Sewage and Water Board in the last decade or so with all of the billing problems and things like that. And you talk to nonprofit leaders out there, and they know that there's a possibility of this coming, and they've got to figure out, are they going to support this or are they going to fight it? We don't know. And but what you hear from everybody across the board is this awareness that people are cash strapped. Costs of everything have gone up in recent years, and certainly insurance and all of that. And so people really want to know that if there's going to be a stormwater fee, that it's going to result in improvement in, in those areas in the city that very commonly see flooding if you get a heavy rain, that we're going to see improvement in that. Because I think people are just like, oh my gosh, the last thing I want is to pay into something and not see results. And so again, that's part of why we came in here ahead of time, that they've got to do this right. There's got to be there's got to be a good proposal that people feel like there's real numbers, solid estimates behind it, that they can really believe that change will occur, things will get better, and that everyone will feel like if there's a broader base of entities paying into it, that it's fair and everybody's doing their part.
Yeah, I mentioned playgrounds. I don't know how much you guys know about this, but, Shakespeare Park or A.L. Davis Park, I think was one of them. I can remember, driving by and seeing that it was all dug up.
Yeah.
Okay. It was all dug up, and it, not only was it dug up, but it was dug up like 6-10 feet down, dug up. Okay. And I think, Willie Hall now is going to have that where it's, how much do you know about that, and who came up with that idea? Is that a Sewage and Water Board thing? I don't know.
Well, I think those type of projects have largely been in the city government's purview.
Okay.
So Sewage and Water Board has done some green infrastructure, but it's been very limited. The city has been more aggressive about, like you say, kind of taking these large green spaces and maybe putting a storage tank underneath the play spots,
right?
Using different techniques to kind of leverage the potential for those green spaces to store neighborhood floodwater just for a time, so that the Sewage and Water Board pumps can catch up, and then it kind of drains out into the system. So the city's largely funded that with federal grants, and that's one of the things that we raise in the report, is that if they want to continue with this type of work, probably that needs to have some kind of local funding to sustain it over time, because you do have to maintain these places as well. If you build a rain garden or you build a retention area, there's a certain amount of maintenance you have to do every year to kind of keep it up. So it can help a lot with localized neighborhood drainage, but it's just sustaining it over time. That's where it kind of has to come into the funding picture.
So I guess, my question in your report, you're pretty much saying that there should be a fee that everyone should pay, as opposed to a tax.
Right.
Yeah, basically, is that it?
It would probably be, so this is, again, we need to hear from the Sewerage and Water Board.
Sure.
About what
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah,
they're gonna
this
be
is what,
proposing.
yeah, exactly.
I think there were a lot of community groups out there that thought that a lot of the taxes would get dropped and and it would be replaced by a stormwater fee. But from talking with the Sewerage and Water Board for this report, it seems like what they're going for is a combination of renewing the taxes at some level and introducing some sort of fee. And the idea is that that would diversify your funding streams and there are some, when you get into it, there are some kind of wrinkles on it that if you didn't have the tax in there, your higher value properties probably wouldn't be paying as much in. So you want something that if there's a property that's worth a lot of money,
right,
you want them paying a lot into the system. Right. And then there are also wrinkles about, how much concrete is impervious surface is over the parcel. You might have something, if you've got a skyscraper downtown or something, the footprint is pretty narrow because it's vertical, but the whole thing's concrete. So, there are kind of these funny ways that something could work that affects like how much somebody would pay in. So you probably want a combination of a tax and a fee, but we don't know the specifics of what they're going to propose.
Well, I have friends who live in studio apartments, 2-bedroom apartments, 2-bedroom homes, 4-bedroom homes, 8,000 square foot homes. I don't think all of them should pay the same thing.
No.
They should not. I mean, that would be something where I'm sure the friends who have been blessed with thousands and thousands of square footage be like, I want to pay fair, but I don't think I want to pay that much because I have all this acreage.
Mm-hmm.
And then the person in the studio be like, why do I have to pay at all? Because I don't use much of anything compared to, plus I'm going to be double taxed if the landlord is charging me to pay part of his fee or her fee.
The landlord probably will charge.
And then because I live here, have to pay the fee too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a key consideration when you're structuring the fee. One of the things we recommend is that the Sewage and Water Board take a close look at the number of tiers that they create in the fee structure for residential property, so that if you have in New Orleans there are a number of small houses that are on narrow lots, and so you have more of your suburban style houses on larger 50 by 120 lots or bigger. So you look at what is kind of the typical unit, and then you can set the tier. You set your tiers so that the smaller ones pay less and the larger ones pay more, and then that can provide fairness, for greater fairness and affordability for the people who have to pay.
So the city of New Orleans is one operation that has a role with this. City council has a role with this. Certainly, Sewage and Water Board has a significant role with this. And then, does the state legislature?
Possibly. One of the things.
Oh, we're getting complicated.
I know, yes.
Well, the reason we bring that up in the report is that.
Yeah, see, I saw that.
Yeah.
I was like, uh-oh.
Is that but the leadership, the reason we talk about the legislature is that the statute, the state law that allows the Sewage and Water Board to pursue this fee is very limited in what it says about how you impose it, what accountability is there, what oversight, what the role of the city council really should be. It just lays out the real basic approval process. So it's not very, doesn't offer much guidance. So that was one of the concerns we had and why we think the legislature may need to participate in this process and work with the city and the Sewage and Water Board to really put together a better statute to really make sure that the public is protected, that you have good oversight, that that the money, that the city council has a careful approval process, and can, overall, you have a way to get to a good result. And that's where I think this, in our assessment, the state law doesn't really, as it's currently written, doesn't offer much guidance on how to do that.
Yeah.
And any proposal about a stormwater fee would also need to go to a vote of the people as well. That, the city council would need to approve it. There's, a couple of different steps, but it would ultimately need to go before voters. And while, I've been expressing some wariness in this, that there's a lot of things that they've got to get right. I think one of the things to keep in mind on this is it's really a wonderful opportunity for this community that we've all been, had problems with drainage. I mean, so many businesses and homes that regularly flood, people who have scary experiences trying to get to work or pick up their kids from school, or, as I've mentioned to other people, I lost my car in front of my house in a flood on a Saturday night of, just before the pandemic. And it happens. And,
Right.
and it, everybody's got a drainage story, as you said in the beginning. But, our drainage maintenance and funding has been inadequate for a long time. We are about to, in the next couple of years, have a conversation to fix that. And there's really an opportunity here to figure out, how are we going to correct this? There's been decades of underfunding and a lack of maintenance. And, it's all been on the backs of taxpayers, and 37% of the property in the city of New Orleans is
37%.
nonprofit or, owned by governmental entities, or it's off the tax rolls for a variety of reasons. And so here's the opportunity to let's get it right.
Okay. So how can people find this report? And if they have a question, comment, how can they contact you all?
They can go to bgr.org, and the report is right on our homepage. And we would love to hear from you. Email us, or we're always happy to come talk to your neighborhood association or community group or something like this. We'd love to talk with you about this proposal.
All right. Anything to add?
No, we really appreciate the time. And I think it's, the drainage system right now, it's very heavily funded by property taxes. That's what it relies on. There's little bits of money that have come in through the fair share deal and some traffic camera money, but we're at a point where there are major needs, $800 million of capital needs for just the major pumps and pipes. The city has subsurface drainage needs for fixing broken small pipes under the streets. A lot of needs out there, and so I think taking a close look at it is important.
It's a big issue, going issue. Lots of people have something to say, even if they have family and friends working at the Sewage and Water Board. They like them, but they don't like who they work for. So, all right, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much, Rebecca and Stephen, for coming in from BGR. Folks, this is a really good, interesting report. Please take a look at it. I'm learning more, and I'm going to be diving into it again. So thank you so much for doing all of this work. It does matter, and it's going to be a critical thing in the next couple of few years. Do we get this right, or do we keep putting Band-Aids on this thing? All right, it's 8 o'clock. This is WBOK, 1230 a.m. The talk line is 504-582-9422. I am Will Sutton, and this is Ro Brown. When we come back, we're going to be talking with New Orleans and Company President and CEO Walt LeJay. So he's on his way. Sent me a note, so I know he's on his way. So Lord willing, he'll be here in just a moment. This is WBOK, 1230 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
WBOK New Orleans. Home of the Good Morning Show, 7 to 9 a.m. weekdays.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. President Trump has signed a bipartisan bill restoring whole and 2% milk in school cafeterias, reversing Obama-era limits to low-fat options.
This legislation also allows parents to directly request a substitute for milk for children with dairy intolerance.
Trump says the move will benefit students and help U.S. dairy farmers. A new report by Innocence and Justice Louisiana shows Louisiana State Police used force against black individuals in over 60% of cases, though they make up just 31% of the population. Black and Native residents in Southwest Louisiana were 3 times more likely to face force despite reforms and reporting laws. And a public celebration of life for gospel legend Richard Smallwood will be held Saturday, January 24th at 12 p.m. Eastern at First Baptist Church of Glenarden in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Doors open at 9:30 a.m. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by Lowe's.com. The arrow is pointing up for women's sports and is starting to attract the attention of investors looking to break into the sports world. Melody Hobson is co-CEO and president of black-owned Wall Street firm Ariel Investments and is part of a new venture there called Project Level. It's dedicated to investing in women's sports. On stage recently at a Bloomberg event, Hobson says she sees investing in women's sports similarly to how she sees investing in small cap companies.
Smaller companies tend to grow faster. And we say the big guys, it's going to be harder to grow the way they've grown in the past. But the women have a big trajectory of growth in front of them. So this is where value meets growth.
The big guys she refers to are men's sports franchises. Hobson feels getting in on women's sports now could lead to big wins for investors down the road. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner. I'm the Black Business Beat.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. That's 800-917-8730.
Hey everybody, it's Graylin Bryant Banks
and Kimber White Dupree
from the Front Porch.
Some combos are too good to miss. Now you can pull up a chair to the front porch anytime.
Just search WBOK Media and subscribe to the Front Porch Podcast.
Download, share, and hit us with a 5-star rating because New Orleans culture deserves to be heard loud and clear.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
The Good Morning Show, WBOK, 12:30 a.m. We appreciate your tuning in, giving us some of your morning time on this Friday. We have to recall and remember it's a school day. So the school zone speed limit of 20 miles per hour is still in effect. So that's in effect till 9 o'clock. So if you're getting up and getting out there in whatever vehicle you are riding and driving, please make sure you're 20 miles per hour or less in those school zones. And I know 26 miles per hour is much slower than 40, but that's not slow enough. And you'll be breaking the law. And they might catch you. And we don't want any of our babies and kiddos hurt, injured, or otherwise. And shout out to the assistant principals on the transportation duty, keeping everybody safe. All right, I'm Will Sutton, Roe Brown, and we're in conversation with Walt LeJay, President and CEO of New Orleans and Company. So I haven't had a chance to say in person, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. It's great to be with you in person and happy to be on this beautiful New Orleans morning with you.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Well,
you usually ask people, who your mama and them.
Yeah.
I don't need to ask who his dad is.
No,
it's okay. How's old man doing? I haven't talked to him in a while.
He's doing great. He's doing great. I was just saying I came in and did a radio show with him in this studio just a couple of months ago. He was covering for Cary Grant and on their show and Arnie Filko.
Yeah.
But he's fantastic. I was just saying I've got a 10-week-old baby girl at home, and that is his 9th grandchild. So he is chasing around grandchildren, and he's doing great. He's still practicing law, and I got to hang out with him earlier this week at some of the inauguration activities, and it was good to catch up.
You didn't plan on owning any more baseball teams or anything?
I think he wishes he could. He talks about baseball a lot, and we miss the Zephyrs every day, but no, I don't think so. I don't think that's in the cards. I think he's more into watching 9 and 10-year-old kids play baseball these days and cheering them on.
That's a good
Pawpaw.
thing.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Well, at New Orleans and Company, of course, you all watch lots of things and encourage and nudge and push to make sure that we have a better New Orleans. And you have to work with all kinds of folks across the spectrum, from community groups to high-level, prominent political elected officials and appointed officials. How are we starting the new year from your seat? What you see?
Well, I'm kind of watching some of the CNN news as on the screen in the studio, and it's a complicated time. And the geopolitical landscape nationally and internationally impacts what we do when we're talking about bringing visitors to our city. And of course, the law enforcement community, whether that be locally, the partnerships with the state, partnerships with federal entities, all those things impact in a very complicated way our customers, the experience that they have in the city, and how we can be successful for our community and bring an economic opportunity here. But we're working through all that. And to your point, it certainly doesn't make for an easy day. Just yesterday, I was working with Senator Cassidy's office. We've got, on January 31st, we've got this awesome event coming to the Superdome called Rockin' 1000. 1,000 musicians.
Which is incredible.
It's going to be incredible.
1,000.
Can you imagine the sound?
Yeah.
I think people are having a hard time wrapping their head around it, but this is a global phenomenon. Company is based in Italy, so it's a global touring event coming to the United States and North America for the first time. And we're grateful for the help from Senator Cassidy's office as we're trying to process 23 work visas for these sound engineers who are part of
23.
Yeah, 23 people. But we're trying to bring in 23 people who are part of this global tour. And I think we're going to get that done, but it's not easy. There's also someone in Brazil that is part of their team, and we're trying to process that. And as you've seen, there's some political challenges there as well and some deadlines coming up. Fortunately, as I was kind of juggling things, I realized that the U.S. ambassador to Italy is a guy named Tillman Fertitta, who is the guy who owns the Houston Rockets, also happens to own the chain of Landry's restaurants and a casino over in Lake Charles. And so through my colleague, Chuck Cleckley, the former Speaker of the House, I've connected with him. And we're just kind of like, that's just a little like microcosm of like juggling things that we're doing to try to make this event happen. And it's just, things are complicated every day, it seems like right now.
People have seen the spots about the 1,000 musician thing. I don't think people understand what it is.
So, like, this is the backstory is this gentleman in Fabio Zaffanini in Italy about 10 years ago, he wanted to get the Foo Fighters to come play a concert in his very small town in Italy. Okay. He recruited 1,000 musicians to learn some of their music. He played it on YouTube and it went viral, 80 million likes and follows. And so he was like, we got something here. And so what they do is they recruit musicians of every talent level. You've got to have some talent and some experience, but singers, guitarists, drummers, bassists, on and on and on. And they've done stadium tours all over Europe and all over the world at this point. They decided they want to come to the United States. Our team was able to recruit them to do that for the first time here in New Orleans. And so the sound engineering, as you can imagine, is a little complicated. I mean, you got 1,000 people playing music all at once in unison in a big stadium. And it's more than just a concert. It's just kind of an experience. I mean, people who are there are a part of something really big. I think we've got a musician coming in from Iraq who's like 80 years old. And we've got like a 10-year-old girl from Alexandria. And so there's this cultural exchange that happens with it too. They're going to do rehearsals for a couple of days, and then they play together in this concert format. We've got Harry Connick Jr. coming in, and a bunch of other Louisiana and New Orleans artists to come in and kind of help curate the experience too. So I do think it's hard to kind of grasp, but it's intriguing, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking more about what's going on in the city of New Orleans, and perhaps we'll touch on the transition and what that looks like for tourism, hospitality, visitors for the city, such an important driver of economic development for the city and the state of Louisiana. This is the Good Morning Show. You're listening to WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Good morning and happy Friday. I'm Morgan Lentis with WDSU News, and here's a look at today's headlines. This morning, the New Orleans Fire Department is trying to figure out what caused a large fire in the Bywater. It happened around the Piety Wharf near Crescent Park last night. The fire prompted a large response from the NOFD and was eventually brought under control. Again, right now, the cause of that fire is not known. Then, as the Moreno administration works to trim the city's budget in response to a more than $200 million budget deficit, we are learning more about how the city got here. A new report from the Office of Inspector General is raising concerns about NOPD overtime. The Inspector General says from January through July of 2025, officers reported more than 260,000 overtime hours, which cost the city more than $16 million. And representatives from the New Orleans Firefighters Union and the mayor's team are expected to meet sometime next week. This after the NOFD union passed a vote of no confidence for Superintendent Roman Nelson. The union claims a pattern of administrative abuse following the termination of firefighters on injured leave. Right now, it is unclear what day that meeting will happen. And that is a look at today's headlines. I'm Morgan Lentis with WDSU News. Have a great day.
Hoops, Heat, The Truth, on demand. Ball Don't Lie is now live on all podcast platforms. Tap in, search WBOK Media, find Ball Don't Lie, and bring the fire with you wherever you go. Download, share, and leave that 5-star review, because the game doesn't stop when the show ends.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton.
If you had $1 million, would you leave it to an 18-year-old?
Hopefully not, but that's exactly what can happen with a simple will. The money goes straight to your kids when they hit the legal age, no guardrails.
A trust lets you control when and how they receive their inheritance. You can set ages, milestones, or even make sure they finish school first.
Give them security, not a spending spree.
This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
Meet Leanna, a part-time chef and full-time mom. In the past, Leanna didn't have health insurance because she didn't think she could afford it. What she didn't realize is she qualified for Medicaid. She loves the coverage and peace of mind that comes with high-quality care. The kind of care you get with Healthy Blue. This is Medicaid. and it's for more people than you think. Maybe even you. To see if you qualify, go to myhealthybluela.com. What if just $50 could open the door to your new home? Godan's is inviting you to enter their Key to Your Heart house raffle, where one ticket gives you a chance to win a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in the city of New Orleans. The drawing will happen on Valentine's Day, February 14th. Tickets must be purchased by February 12th at 11:59 p.m. Enter now at RAYZE.it/Key to Your Heart.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Welcome back to the Good Morning Show. For those of you who have been tuned in with us already, and thank you for those of you who are just tuning in. It's 8:18 a.m. Remember the babies and the kiddos. They are on their way to school. I'd like you to be safe. Take care of yourself because I know this the other drivers that are crazy, that it's not you. But you be safe and watch out for the crazy drivers. Watch out for babies, our kiddos. Yes, the kids in high school have cell phones, and they're more likely to be looking down or snapping pictures and selfies on the way in. So you watch out for them. But they still are babies, even if they got hair under their arms. They're growing up, but they still are babies. So let's help them get the education that they need. Walt, before the break, we were talking about transition. And we've got a couple of calls. People want to talk with you, so that's good. And but how do you think things look as we roll from one city mayoral term to another, and a new city council? Yes, 4 are back, but it's a new city council with 3, with a new administration. For the business that you're responsible for, how does this look?
Yeah, well, I mean, we talk a lot about the climate that we need to have to be competitive and successful. And generally speaking, what we're looking for is, stability and then delivering on the same things that residents are looking for, right? I mean, we just need to have a clean, safe city that we can welcome people into for conferences, conventions, and meetings, because we're competing with Dallas and Atlanta and Las Vegas and Orlando and every other city across the country. It used to be maybe 8 or 10 cities. Now it's 30 cities, Columbus, Ohio, and Austin, Texas, and cities that are investing billions in infrastructure to support conferences, conventions, and meetings because they recognize the economic impact that brings to a community. So, I think the thing that we're excited the most about is just a renewed focus on collaborative approaches to solving problems. And so it's great to see the Lights On, initiative that's going to launch in New Orleans East, and then we'll continue to come back. I think she said then next to Central City, and then neighborhoods around the community. When you think about New Orleans East, obviously a critical neighborhood for our city. It's where a lot of our residents, call home. But it's also, from our perspective, a welcome mat to our community. And people are driving from the Gulf Coast into our community for a variety of events, whether that be a meeting or whether it be a concert or whether it be a sporting event or just a weekend visit. And so we want to continue to invest in every neighborhood. We want to, we've really been focused on trying to advocate for things that make it a great place to live, a great place to work, a great place to learn, because we know that with that investment and that focus, it will be a great place to visit. We've got a long, track record of success in being a destination, but some of these basics need to get, we need to get some renewed focus. And I think we're going to get that, and that's what I think that's what we're excited about, and our members, our businesses that we represent are excited about.
All right, great. We're going to take a call. Good morning, Don. You're on with Will Sutton Rowe Brown and Walt Leger from New Orleans and Company. Good morning. Don, are you there?
Don going
Don?
once.
Okay, we lost Don.
Don
so
going twice.
Call back, Don. Good morning, Alicia. You're on with Will Sutton, Roe Brown, and Walt Leger.
Good morning, guys.
Hey.
And also to Mr. Leger. It was a pleasure seeing your dad at the inaugurational events. He's such a delightful guy. A couple of things, and I'm going to be quick so other people can call in. Leger Jr. I know your dad loved baseball. I miss the Zephyrs. Just going to the games to just sit down, relax, and eat the nachos and the hot dogs. It was a pleasure.
I miss it. I miss it too. When I was in college, I was on the grounds crew, so I used to cut the grass. I used to fix the field before the games. It brings back a lot of good memories. I miss it too.
Yeah. I loved it. Also, baseball was hot here in New Orleans. I remember the adult teams playing on the playgrounds that was sponsored by the bars, the nightclubs, and the lounges and stuff. I wish we could bring that back, along with bringing big-time baseball back for the kids at the park. Because what they don't understand, I think baseball players get paid more than NFL players. And there's scholarship money out there for black participants to go into baseball. And I wish we need to bring that back. I thank you for what you're going to do. I need to know when I can hook up with you. And also, since this is a tourist city, I think it's appalling that our people in the food industry services, they get paid $2.13 an hour to be waiters and waitresses and stuff. That should be criminal. What can you do, your organization, to increase the pay for those service workers? And lastly, when can we hook up?
Well, you can always find me. I'm at neworleans.com is the best way to get contact info on me to reach out. Absolutely agree with you on the baseball thing, and I'll take it a step further. We've been working on this Vision Plan 2035 with stakeholders across the region, and one of the things we really want to dive in on and push forward on is upgrades to the infrastructure for youth sports and other youth activities. Not only is it critical for our young people to be able to have high quality parks through NORD and other avenues, but it's also an opportunity to bring in these youth sports competitions and events that in turn invest tons of money into communities and allow you to reinvest in the infrastructure that gives our children the things that they deserve as well. Baseball is a perfect example. Our kids shouldn't be having to travel all along the Gulf Coast to these other facilities that have been built. We should make sure that we've got the things that we need here that are adequate, that give our kids what they deserve, but also can generate revenue to reinvest. On the economics side of things, and your concerns about wages, certainly our efforts are to drive up wages for everyone. And for too long, the tourism and hospitality industry has been the dominant industry in our city. It's about 50% of the revenue of our community. We work to bring in conferences, meetings, conventions, and we in turn are hopeful that the economic development leaders will grab onto some of those C-suite and others and attract a diversified economy to our city. This Vision 35 plan is about doing that. I've said often, if we could be the third or the fourth most influential part of the economy, this whole region would be better, healthier, and it's the best way to drive those wages up. In places like Atlanta, where they have a more diversified economy, they have a difficult time hiring hospitality workers. We don't want it to be difficult to hire hospitality workers, but we want the reason to be that it's difficult is because there are so many other job opportunities for them at competitive wages that the wages in every industry have to go up to be able to attract the talent that they need. And so, as we continue to work with the Louisiana Office of Economic Development and other partners to attract people to our city and region to spend dollars as visitors, we want to retain that. We want to drive up wages for everybody, and we want there to be a real competition for talent so that everyone can be more prosperous. And that's a big part of what Vision 2035 is all about.
All right. Thank you, Alicia.
Wait a minute.
Alicia.
Thank you for the Savannah Bananas, and thank your dad for us for the Savannah Bananas. And I hope people go so they can come back.
All right.
Thank you.
Good. Lord's blessings. All right. We got Don on the line. You're on with Will Sutton, Roe Brown, and Walt Leger.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you, Ro.
Got a couple of minutes.
Good hearing you, brother. Well, Walt Leger, say hello to your dad for you with my full chest. Say hello to your dad.
Will do, Don. Will do.
Yeah. No, quickly. You're talking about sports wages and business and tourism. You know, if you go 500-mile radius of New Orleans, that encompasses about 67 million people. That's a day's drive. So what I'm saying is you talk about all of the infrastructure, but there's an organization called Mid-South Literacy based in Memphis, Tennessee. They're helping people, adults mainly, become literate. So literacy raises wages because it raises skill development. So what part of the infrastructure involves adult literacy programs in your plans, if not literacy and numeracy? And Ro can speak on it because he's in sports writer, and he deals with stats and literacy. So what role does that play in your New Orleans plans that invests in your people, especially the youth and the adults?
Yeah, so I couldn't agree with you more about how critical that is, and certainly there are organizations throughout the community who are pushing work on literacy and numeracy. And I think where ours fits in is investing in vibrant communities. The vision plan, and I'll give you some scope on it. We asked the Jefferson Economic Development Commission, the GNO Inc., the Urban League of Louisiana, Greater New Orleans Foundation, and the New Orleans Chamber of Commerce to all serve on a steering committee with us on building this, because what we didn't want to do was have tourism be the central feature of the plan. We recognize how important this industry is to the economy, but there are so many other aspects, and we expect that those partners of ours are going to take leadership roles in a variety of these ways. And so I think JEDCO and GNO Inc. will probably take the lead on some of this numeracy and literacy initiatives, but ultimately I think our role as an industry and at New Orleans and Company in supporting that is the conventions and conferences that we attract to our community, including many educational conferences that bring in educators, but also specialists who focus on the things that you're talking about. So we think that that's a way for us to contribute our portion to attracting attention to it, but also bringing in professionals who work on it. When I was in the legislature, I worked a lot with the Primetime Reading Program. That was something that was being run through an organization here in New Orleans, Louisiana Endowment for Humanities. And one of the things I thought that was so critical about that was it was a family literacy program. It focused on ensuring that not only the kids were getting access to it, but that their parents were also becoming a part of that process. And so I do think that continuing to drive home how important those things are as family units can really uplift the community. And we're certainly committed to being a part of that framework, not necessarily having to solve all those problems ourselves, but do that in partnership with a lot of others.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us, Walt. This morning, always good to hear from New Orleans and Company, and welcome to the show.
Thank you. We'll do it again soon.
I know you loved having Kevin Ferguson doing this, but he's moved on and
he has
doing some important work as a deputy mayor and chief of staff for Mayor Helena Moreno.
So we're very proud of him. He's a great guy.
He's going to do great work over there as he did for you and so many others.
I know he's going to bring excellence to what he does and urgency to it as well, which is really important. And we're really proud of him. What a tremendous guy. We hate to lose him, but if our city needs him, then that's where he needs to be. And I think he's going to do great work. And look forward to being with you again soon.
All right. Sounds great. All right. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, folks, it's 8:30 a.m. Watch out for the babies and the kiddos on their way to school. Take care of yourself. Make sure you got what you need before you head out. You got those keys? Do you have the eyeglasses? You got your watch? How about that wallet? And some of us need to look in the mirror and smile and make sure we got the teeth in and ready to. All right, so, all right, when we come back, we're going to talk to David Bugich from Liberty Bank, keeping us financially healthy. All right now, you're listening to WBLK, 12:30 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
The temperature swing continues, plus I do have a wintry weather update for you. So starting off with the cold side, but then eventually highs 68 to 70 degrees today. Lows tonight 43 to 50. We could see a few passing showers overnight into our Saturday, a few showers throughout the day on Saturday. And then we are talking about that potential for a wintry mix. As of right now, it looks like it'll just be some cold showers passing through very early Sunday morning. We are not expecting that big snow event. For the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Richard.
Hey everybody, it's Graylin Bryant Banks.
And Kimber White Dupree.
From the front porch, y'all. You know how we do every Monday. It's Moving Monday.
And Tuesday is Trivia Tuesday.
And y'all know we have nothing but bad cheering coming through here on Wednesday.
But stick with us. On Thursday, we travel.
That's right. And Friday's Free Your Mind Friday, so get your brass up.
Something on your mind? Want to get it off your chest?
Holla at your people. WBOK 1230 AM, station you listen to
all day long.
New Orleans, the city of festivals and second chances. This is Mr. Rocky of Faithers in Jesus the Christ, inviting everyone to come to the table of grace. No matter where you are or what you're dealing with, guilt, bad habits, mistakes, or heavy hearts, Jesus still calls us his friend, and his grace is waiting for us. Tune in to WBOK 1230 AM or watch live on Facebook or Instagram. We'll reflect on his work on the cross, his resurrection, his ascension, and the hope of his return for we who that believe and have received him by faith. So join us at the table of grace, where mercy is fresh, forgiveness is real, and grace is served for people like you and me.
A careless driver can change your life in an instant. Do you know what to do or who to call? If you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident and do not have an attorney, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free consultation. We can answer all of your questions and estimate the potential value of your case. Call Auto Accident Help Desk and connect with an expert personal injury attorney.
Call 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524.
Don't worry how to handle your medical bills, lost wages, and pain. We will get you the money you deserve.
They got me way more than the insurance company offered.
The consultation is free, and you do not pay any legal fees unless we win or settle your case. Make the smart call. If you've been injured in an auto accident, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free legal consultation.
Call 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524.
This is Andronica Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. For those of you all who have been tuned in anytime since 7 o'clock or even the last few minutes. And welcome to the Good Morning Show for those of you who are just tuning in. Great conversation with Walt LeJay from New Orleans and Company, talking about the change administrations and put the national stuff in the context without saying Trump. And also, of course, the big music event coming up on January 31st. 1,000 musicians, including a number from New Orleans, Southern Louisiana, and across the state. So that's going to be quite a thing to hear and see. But right now, we're going into conversation with David Bugich, Senior Consumer Lender and Partnership Officer at Liberty Bank and Trust Company. And we're going to talk about debt consolidation, kind of the pros and the cons of debt consolidation. consolidation. Maybe some people haven't been there, but I think a lot of people have. I'll just raise my hand.
Yes.
For those of you who are uncomfortable, I'll raise my hand. I've been there.
Right.
And so, welcome to the Good Morning Show.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me in. And most folks have been there. And it's a challenging time. And with the new year, hopefully most folks have put together a plan, not only for their physical wellness, but for their financial wellness. And that's something we try and work with our clients and the customers in the community as far as understanding their financial literacy and understanding the cost of not being financially literate. And part of that is understanding whether a debt consolidation loan will work for you. A lot of consumers find themselves after the holidays in a jam where they may have overspent, and a bill consolidation loan or a debt consolidation loan may work for you and change your future and improve your cash flow. And this is one of the many products that Liberty Bank offers. And we just wanted to discuss that this morning, just to give folks a little bit more information on whether it may work for them.
What's the most kind of familiar case where somebody comes to find out what a consolidation debt loan is, and to say, I think I need this. Do I need this? Right. What does that person look like?
That person, it varies, right, from the person that may be a minimum wage worker to a person that may be a senior VP somewhere in a larger company and in their financial profile. But what usually occurs is that a consumer accumulates debt, namely credit card debt, over the years, and then maybe something happens, whether it's an illness or something unexpected like a pandemic or a hurricane, and of course they accumulate that additional debt. And then one day they may be sitting on their sofa or sitting at their kitchen table and they read their credit card statements and finally understand how much they're paying monthly, what their rate is, right? Most folks get credit cards and open them up, activate them, and they don't really pay attention to that interest rate. Or you may have a introductory interest rate that's 0%, but then after 12 months, it may shoot up to 31%, right? And so you're paying 31% on that debt, $5,000, $6,000 debt monthly. And so it's very difficult to pay that off. And so folks will come in and say, we'll do a review of what the customers have outstanding. We'll usually ask them to bring in any statements so that we can see what they are paying in interest, what their monthly payments are, and what we can save them. So with debt consolidation loans, there's two benefits to the consumer, and that's something the consumer has to decide what works best for them. The first is the debt consolidation loan can lower the total interest that you pay long term, right? Instead of paying 31% on this card, 19% on this card, 21% on this card, you will have a fixed interest rate, let's just say 10%, on a fixed term for 5 years. And you'll lower your total interest for that time period. The other consideration which the consumer needs to think about is, will this improve my monthly cash flow, right? Because you are, by consolidating those cards and extending them, you can lower your monthly payment. Instead of having a $200 payment with this Visa, $300 with that Visa, $400 with that Visa, you have one $200 payment on your debt consolidation loan. So it's a good vehicle to help the consumers understand their credit, clean up their credit, clean up their cash flow position, and overall just better their life. And then one of the other biggest things is that it relieves that mental stress that we find ourselves in when we're having financial issues of I have these 14 cards that I need to pay, or 6 cards that I have to pay, and those cards are all throughout the month at different payment dates. And so we put those all together, have one payment that you make to one organization each month. That kind of sort of relieves some of that financial stress for the borrower also.
So, on average, how much are people consolidating? Are they consolidating like $2,000? Are they consolidating $50,000?
Now that's a great question. It's a great question. It's an interesting question because it runs the gamut from $2,000, $5,000 to $50,000, right? But we have some customers with those smaller loans. The consolidation makes a much bigger impact. I'm gonna give you an example. A consumer find themselves in a situation where they have to go to check cashing places and get in a cycle of a $300 check here, $400 check there, $500 check here. And so that cycle is difficult for those consumers to break just because of their income situation or their family situation. So a $3,000, $5,000 consolidation loan to pay off those checks and maybe give the borrower a little additional money, it will make a great impact with that consumer, because normally it is so difficult for them to get out of that cycle and pay those checks off. They usually just start renewing those checks, right? On the other end, you may have someone who is a little bit more income and has accumulated a lot of credit card debt, but really just hadn't paid attention to the interest rates on that debt, right? And so there may be a change in their lifestyle or just a different part of their life, and they're looking to come in and pay off some of that debt and have one payment. And so with those larger consolidation loans, let's say we're talking $40,000, $50,000, $100,000, those will usually be secured loans. Traditionally, we're Liberty. We're not in the business of making $100,000 unsecured loans. Right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I get it.
So traditionally, those loans would be secured loans, and because they're secured, the borrower can extend those terms a little longer and lower that monthly payment even more. And one of the benefits, of course, I always preface this by saying you need to consult your tax attorney, but by collateralizing those consolidation loans with your real estate, it's possible that you can deduct the interest from your tax. So it helps you that way also, right? So because the interest you pay on those credit cards, that's not tax deductible. So, we see the gamut of folks from very small to very large financial problems, and overspending. It affects everyone in our community and all of our customers. And we try and work with everyone that walks in the door. But over my career, the smaller loans and the folks that are find themselves in those situations with those checks or other predatory lending products, we get the most satisfaction for being able to pull those folks out of those problems.
Okay.
We're talking to David Begich, Consumer Loan Officer, Liberty Bank. Credit score, you mentioned that. How does debt consolidation affect or help? I guess I'm asking help a credit score,
right.
I guess.
So, your credit score is driven off of a number of factors. One of those factors is the number of accounts you have. Another factor is the type of lender that you have an account with. For instance, the credit bureau will consider a loan with a certain type of lender. Let's say a finance company. The borrower, because of that loan, is riskier than if it's a traditional bank. So it affects your credit score. The other piece is that credit utilization, meaning the balance on the credit card compared to the limit. If it's above a certain percent, and that's something that the credit bureaus keep secret, it affects your credit score, drives it down, right? So by consolidating your debt, you can eliminate a number of those factors. By paying off those, paying the accounts off, you bring the balance down to zero, which affects the utilization. If it's a company that is considered risky, you're paying that off. And then, of course, you have paid off accounts, which helps. And then moving forward, it's easier for the borrower to manage one payment monthly than several. The flip side of that, as far as with the credit score, and the credit score is big, the flip side is that the borrower and the consumer has to be disciplined once they've received that consolidation loan to not slip back into those bad habits. Mm-hmm. Because if they do that, you're just doubling the obligation and you're creating a bigger problem. So that's the challenge for folks, is just not slipping back into those patterns of overspending and getting themselves back into the same situation. And then because to go back to get another loan to pay off the debt again, it will be more difficult.
And more challenging for the score.
More challenging for the score, right. More challenging for the score.
Yeah.
Right. But one thing that the bank, Liberty Bank, we pride ourselves on is that we are not just a credit score bank. So I know with consumers in society and folks that have limited knowledge of the finances, the credit score is the thing, the big thing. But Liberty looks at the customer's entire situation, more than just the credit score. Part of what we do is we consider ourselves a relationship bank. So we consider your relationship with Liberty, whether you have accounts with us, how you performed on those accounts. So it's a big.
So it's different if you've been banking there versus I heard you on WBOK. This is the first time I've walked into Liberty. I'd like help in consolidating.
All right. Right. Of course. Of course. And I tell folks that all the time, that when we make you a loan, it's a partnership, right? The bank's part of the partnership is that we're advancing you money to do whatever you need to do, whether it's consolidating your debt, you're buying your car, whatever. Your part of the partnership is to make your payments timely, right? That's your value and your currency with the bank, your payments. And so if we don't have that experience with you in previous loans, one of the things that we can look at is how you manage your deposit accounts, whether it's your checking or savings account, how long you've been around with the bank. So it is important if you're looking to establish loans, or you need a loan, to consider the place that you have your deposit accounts. And some banks, that may not be something that they consider in their underwriting process, but at Liberty, we do consider that in our underwriting process.
All right. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us again Will you be coming back? I know Liberty Bank will be back, but will you be coming back?
I think so. I think I'll be back next month along with Angel.
Okay. Well, it's good to see you.
Same here.
I like talking to you.
Same here.
I keep learning things.
Hey, I'm going to be a radio veteran after this.
All right.
You already are.
And
I hate you, David. I hate people with great voices, okay?
I tell
Listen to that voice.
I tell everyone I had this voice since the 5th grade and was teased relentlessly.
I bet you did. Well, before we go into break, let me give you a special election piece of news.
Hurry up.
All right, we're going to have to go to break. But I just want to remind you that the special election is February 7th. There's still time to register to vote. Early voting starts on January 24th, so make sure that you get registered to vote. And as I've told you before, if a candidate gets an endorsement, I'm not going to share one candidate's endorsement. But if a group has endorsed a few people and I have the complete endorsement list, I will do that. So the Independent Women of Orleans, IWO, had its endorsement meeting last night. In the Senate district for Senate District 3, the Bowie seat, the candidates are Ken Barnes, Sidney Bartholomew, second John Johnson, and Chad Lugois. And in that race, there was a runoff between Ken Barnes and Sidney Bartholomew. And with the runoff, Sidney Bartholomew won the endorsement of the IWO. In the race for District 97 state rep, we have two candidates, Eugene Green and Ed Murray. And in that race, Ed Murray picked up the IWO endorsement. And in the race for House District 100, and 97 is the Willard seat, and the 100 was the Hughes seat. We've got Patricia Boyd Robinson, Dana Henry, Aisha Kelly, Kenya Rounds, and Candace Taylor. And in that race, IWO has gone with Dana Henry. So that's what we have from what happened overnight. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to close out and get out of the way for the front porch. I'm Will Sutton with Ro Brown. This is WBOK, 12:30 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
New Orleans never sleeps, and neither does WBOK. Now, every voice, every moment, and every show is in your pocket. Search WBOK Media wherever you get podcasts. Download, share, rate us 5 stars. Because when you support us, you amplify Black voices and the New Orleans culture.
Good morning, Wake Up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. This is Will Sutton and Ro Brown.
Good morning.
Good conversation with David Buggage from Liberty Bank, giving us some insights on lending generally, but particularly debt consolidation, pros and cons. Yeah, well, I think I learned some pros and cons, which is why it's been a while since I used that feature in that program. But happy to have had it at the time. It was quite helpful. Had to get over a hump. And it's a good tool to be considered.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep. So, well, we're going to wrap up things here at the Good Morning Show. Up next is the Front Porch. Just a reminder that we've got a host of Martin Luther King events happening today, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, the actual national holiday. So look up those activities and try to make sure that you're a part of one of those activities or more. There's a number of things across the state, certainly across New Orleans, and but one that is happening that you might want to know about is that there's going to be a free event on Monday in Baton Rouge, and at that event there will be Janae Nelson, President and Director Counsel of the LDF. She is the sister who argued the case for the congressional districts before the Supreme Court. Okay. So you might not know the name, but a bunch of people do, because the sister is so smart, so intelligent, and held her own. And it was clear the justices had much respect for her, whether they were liking the idea or not about these congressional districts and much more, much deeper impact. So you might want to check that out. That's Monday in Baton Rouge. All right, folks, time to get out of here for the Front Porch. This is Will Sutton and Ro Brown. Great show, Ro. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And helping me with all of these powerful guests that we had. Walt LeJay, David Buggage from the Liberty Bank, Walt LeJay from New Orleans and Company, and of course we had Rebecca and Stephen from the BGR looking at drainage. We're going to get out of here. You're listening to WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about.